Okay, fourth grade, we're more than halfway finished now. It's not going to be too long before the rest of the Stations of the Cross are complete. So we're going to go on to number 9. Jesus falls the third time. Oh my goodness, isn't it hard to fall once? And then the second time? But the third time, how heartbreaking can that be? Station number 9, Jesus falls the third time. It's unbelievable that Jesus fell again and the soldiers didn't help him. They only yelled louder for him to get up and continue on. But Jesus didn't get mad at them. Jesus forgave them. That's hard to do, isn't it? It's hard to forgive someone who keeps yelling at you and making you do something when you're already hurt. But Jesus knew how important it was to forgive other people. And this gives us an opportunity to forgive and forgive again, because that's what we're called to do as Catholics. The church never says to forgive and forget. The church actually says to forgive and forgive. Why? Because that's what Jesus does for us. When you go to confession, the priest is simply the screen that Jesus works through. And we are called to forgive and forgive the same way Jesus forgives us over and over again. So we go on to station number 10. Jesus is stripped of his clothes. To be without clothes in front of everyone is a humiliating thing. Jesus wasn't ashamed because he knew his Father in heaven loved him and everyone who was there. Well, think about it. Sometimes people are humiliated when they don't have a special pair of tennis shoes or if they don't have the newest pair of jeans. But Jesus could have been humiliated by them taking away his clothes. But he knew that this was part of what he had to suffer in order for us to have eternal life. So sometimes when things are either taken away, or maybe you lose something, or it's time to give something up for the poor, we can do that without too much upset because we know Jesus gave away all his clothes just so we could be free from sin and death. Okay? Station number 11, Jesus is crucified. The soldiers drove nails through Jesus' hands and feet. They lifted up the cross and put it in place. Jesus was in a lot of pain. You know, to be crucified is a terrible thing. It was the worst death that could be given to anybody. It was saved for the worst criminals. So the Roman soldiers were saying Jesus was the worst criminal because they were looking at something that wasn't true. They were looking at a lie. Jesus wasn't the worst criminal. Jesus was the best man ever. He was the one born with no sin. He was the one who knew how to be perfectly perfect and draw us perfectly to God. So he suffered that for us, and we can suffer for other people so that they don't have to suffer as much. Number 12, station number 12, Jesus dies on the cross. Usually at this point during Stations of the Cross or during the Gospel where we hear this, everyone kneels down and they pause and they bow their head and they pray for a moment in thanksgiving that Jesus did this. So we want to think about this as being a very solemn time, a time where we're very grateful to Jesus. When Jesus died, the sky got dark and the ground started to shake. So that's an earthquake. This made people very scared. Well, of course, earthquakes are just crazy. I've been in a bad earthquake before, and it's very, very scary. In fact, the earthquake was so bad that my house next to the fireplace, the wall came apart from the fireplace, and my father had to get that fixed because of the way the earth shook. It was terrible. They saw that Jesus was innocent and they had made a big mistake. Yeah, as soon as Jesus died, then people could see, wait a minute, we did something really, really bad. Well, as soon as we know we've done something wrong, we always need to say we're sorry. That's a very important thing. And some of those people did say they were sorry. Station 13, Jesus' body is taken down from the cross. Joseph of Arimathea gave Jesus his own burial cave because Jesus didn't have a place to be buried. Joseph was another one of Jesus' friends who took a risk to help him. That's right. Joseph of Arimathea was Jesus' friend, but he was also one of the high Jewish leaders. No one knew he was a Christian because he was a Christian in secret. But he took a big risk because someone could have killed him for doing something so nice for Jesus. Station number 14, Jesus is laid in the tomb. Even when things look very difficult and sad, there is always hope that God can bring new life. Well, of course he can. With God, all things are possible. Everything you can think of. All good things are possible with God. So when we're praying, we can look back and know that the resurrection happened, and that happened because God willed that to happen. And God can make good things come out of something bad. Something bad was people going ahead and crucifying Jesus. But the good thing is that he saved us from sin and death. So when things happen like we have to be isolated right now because of COVID-19, we can say, you know what? God's going to bring something really wonderful out of this tomb, right? And the resurrection part is maybe you're having a great time with your family. Maybe your family is spending time together that they never spent before. Or maybe you are no longer overscheduled. You don't have to be here or there in another place, but you can just get a hug or eat dinner together. Or maybe you take a walk or have conversations together. All of these things that help families stay united. And hopefully your family can pray together at some point during the day. Okay. So that's the end of the Stations of the Cross. I hope this little conversation helped you with your drawings. Remember, I know you can do this. I have total faith in you. When it's finished, please ask your parents to help you take pictures of these or scan them and then upload them onto LMS under the assignment. So where it says class calendar, you can click on that assignment and upload the document right under the assignment, okay? Everything will stay organized and it'll be super easy to grade. And that way also, I won't be asking parents, oh, hey, I haven't seen this assignment, right? Because it'll all be in the same place. Thank you so much. I hope that you enjoyed this. Listen to it as many times as you want. And I'll see you again on Zoom. Bye.